Before we begin, I want to say this gently, not as a demand, not as a pitch, but if this podcast has supported you, if you keep finding yourself coming back, if something in your body settles when you listen, make sure you're following, subscribing, or saved wherever you're listening, not because of algorithms, but because this work builds over time. This season is designed to be listened to in a sequence. It's meant to layer, to repeat, to rewire. And staying connected matters for that. Now, let's arrive properly. Take a slow breath in through your nose and a long breath out through your mouth. Welcome to the Sacred Shit Show. This is season 4, and this season is called Sacred Living. And today, we're talking about something that activates almost every nervous system on the planet. Money. Money is rarely just about numbers. Money carries a story, memory, identity, expectation, fear, freedom, and survival. For many people, money is the place where the spiritual world and the practical world collide. In one direction, we hear money is stressful, money causes problems, money creates pressure. In another direction, we hear just raise your vibration, just think abundant thoughts, just manifest harder. But both of these conversations often miss something very important. Money is not just psychological, and it's not just spiritual. Money is deeply biological. Your nervous system plays a huge role in how you experience money. Your relationship with money usually begins long before you ever earn it. It begins in observation. You watched how the adults around you spoke about money. Maybe money was always tight. Maybe it caused arguments. Maybe it was something nobody talked about openly. Maybe you heard phrases like, "We can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. People with money are greedy." Or maybe you saw money used as power, status, control. Either way, your nervous system learned something very early. Money equals meaning. Money equals identity. Money equals safety or danger. And those associations sink deep into the body. So when money appears in your adult life, your nervous system is not just responding to a bank balance, it's responding to a lifetime of conditioning. It's responding to memories, to family narratives, to cultural beliefs, to personal experiences of scarcity or excess. Money sits very close to the survival center of the brain, because in modern life, money controls access to many of the things that keep us alive. Food, shelter, healthcare, security, freedom of movement, education, opportunity. So when people say money is just energy without acknowledging survival, they skip an essential layer. Because for many nervous systems, money represents safety, which means financial instability can feel like a threat, not intellectually, but biologically. This is why money conversations activate people so quickly. The nervous system hears survival risk, and then the nervous system hears survival risk, and it tries to regulate that fear. usually in one of two directions: over control or avoidance. Over control looks like this constant hustling, working far beyond capacity, tackling every detail obsessively, never feeling like there is enough. Avoidance looks like something very different. Not checking accounts, avoiding invoices, undercharging for your work, ignoring financial planning entirely. Both responses are attempts to regulate fear. Neither creates long-term sustainability. Sacred living invites something different: steadiness. Not obsession, not avoidance, but a steady relationship. So let's dismantle another myth whilst we're here. The idea that financial abundance arrives purely through belief. Manifestation culture sometimes suggests that if you think the right thoughts, hold the right frequency, and visualize success strongly enough, money will appear. But belief alone does not stabilize your nervous system. And if your nervous system experiences money as threat, it will unconsciously sabotage financial expansion. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack discipline, but because your body is protecting you. Larger amounts of money require larger capacity. Capacity to hold responsibility, capacity to tolerate visibility, capacity to manage complexity, capacity to navigate pressure. If your nervous system does not feel safe holding those things, it will pull you back to familiarity, towards the level that feels manageable. This is why people sometimes sabotage their own growth. Not consciously, somatically. Imagine someone who grew up hearing that wealthy people are selfish, arrogant, or corrupt. If that person begins to earn more money, their nervous system may feel like they're becoming the very thing they were taught to distrust. So they slow themselves down, they undercharge, they overgive, they avoid scaling their work. Not because they lack ability, but because the nervous system is trying to protect identity. Sacred abundance requires identity expansion. Your nervous system needs to believe that wealth can coexist with integrity. There's another layer here as well. Money often increases visibility. More clients, more conversations, more responsibility, more attention, more scrutiny. And visibility can feel unsafe for a nervous system that learned safety through blending in, through staying quiet, through not standing out. So sometimes people do not fear money itself, they fear being seen. Sacred living is not about forcing yourself into visibility. It's about expanding your capacity to be seen without feeling unsafe. In spiritual spaces, money is sometimes rejected entirely. People say things like, "I'm not here for the money, I'm just here to serve." And service is beautiful, but rejecting money completely can create hidden resentment. Because resources matter, time matters, energy matters, exchange matters. Sacred exchange means something very simple. You can serve and be supported. You can help people and be compensated. These things are not opposites, they are balance. Before we continue deeper into this conversation, I'm going to pause here for a moment, because transforming your relationship with money is rarely a quick mindset shift. It's a process, a nervous system recalibration. So I'm going to pause here briefly, and when I return, we will continue.
Dear listener, it's me, Herbal Moonbeam, guardian of the green, listener to the wisdom that lives in bodies, and your gentle guide here at the Strange Apothecary. While our host steps away to tend her tea, let me settle beside you for a moment. Have you felt it lately? That deep, steady fatigue that rest alone doesn't touch. The sense that your body has slowed the pace, not because you failed, but because it needed safety more than speed. When the body hits the brakes, it isn't rebellion, it's intelligence. And that low hum inside you, the one whispering there must be another way to live, isn't dissatisfaction, it's memory. This is where the Sacred Portal opens. The Sacred Portal is a 6-month group-held multidimensional healing journey for those who are done trying to heal in isolation and done being told they should already be over it. Together, over 6 months, we move slowly and deliberately through the 5 layers that shape your lived experience: body, mind, energy, soul, and spirit. Not to ascend out of life, but to finally feel safe inside it. Inside the portal, there is no fixing, no pressure to perform healing the right way, no bypassing the body in favour of insight. Instead, we work with somatic rituals that teach your nervous system it no longer has to stay on guard, subconscious patterning that softens survival without ripping it away, energy work that clears what never belonged to you, and soul remembrance that doesn't hype you up, it settles you back into. This container is held as one group, one path, one shared rhythm. Because healing doesn't happen through hierarchy, it happens through safety, witnessing, and regulation in relationship. The Sacred Portal isn't for those chasing a better version of themselves, it's for those ready to stop leaving themselves behind. The portal is now open for enrolment. One path, one group, 6 months of being held in a way most systems never taught you was possible. And because we honour the land that carries us, every enrolment plants a tree, rooting your healing into something living. And so if your body feels quieter as you listen, if something in you has softened instead of tensed, that's not coincidence. You already recognise this pace. Visit thesacredportal.co.uk or follow the link waiting for you in the show notes. The Sacred Portal. You were never broken, your system was protecting you. Now then, sweet soul, my wings are beginning to shimmer, which means it's time to drift gently back into your journey.
Welcome back. Now take one slow breath in and now out. We were speaking about capacity because earning more money is not just about earning more. It's about holding more decisions, more complexity, more responsibility, more expectation. If your nervous system is not ready for that, it will create subtle breaks. Procrastination, overworking, burnout, underpricing, and overgiving. But not because you are incapable, but because your body is trying to maintain equilibrium. Sacred abundance requires expansion. Expansion of nervous system capacity, expansion of identity, expansion of emotional tolerance. Scarcity is not always about numbers. Scarcity is often about safety. 2 people can earn the exact same income. One feels secure, the other feels constantly stressed. The difference is regulation. A regulated nervous system experiences money as resource. A dysregulated system experiences money as threat. Sacred living focuses on stabilizing the body before chasing abundance, because stability changes everything. Money is also exchange, energy moving between people, time exchanged for value, skill exchanged for resource, support exchanged for payment. When exchange is clear and respectful, money flows more naturally. When exchange becomes distorted, through guilt, through undercharging, through resentment, money becomes tangled. Sacred exchange includes clarity, clear pricing, clear boundaries, clear value, clear receiving. Receiving is one of the hardest parts for many people, especially people who are raised to prioritize others. Receiving can trigger guilt or shame, or the sense that you must immediately give something back. But receiving is part of healthy exchange. If energy only flows in one direction, imbalance appears. Learning to receive without apology is part of sacred living. If you run a business, money can feel especially personal because your income is connected to your voice, your ideas, your creativity, your service. Every sale can feel like validation, and every slow month can feel like rejection. But sacred living asks us to separate identity from numbers. Revenue fluctuates, but your worth does not. Structure also helps stabilize the nervous system around money. Things like regular financial check-ins, clear pricing, healthy boundaries around discounts, simple financial tracking. Structure reduces ambiguity. Ambiguity fuels anxiety, and clarity creates safety. So let's bring this back into the body. Place one hand gently over your stomach and take a slow breath in. And now out through your mouth. Imagine your capacity as a container. Right now, it holds a certain amount of responsibility, a certain amount of income, a certain amount of visibility. Now, imagine that container expanding slightly, not dramatically, just a little. Capacity grows gradually. Like muscle, abundance that arrives faster than the nervous system can hold often creates chaos. But sacred abundance grows alongside regulation, steady, sustainable, grounded. Money is not the enemy. But money is not the salvation either. It is a tool, a resource, a form of exchange. Your nervous system can learn to relate to it calmly, with clarity, and with steadiness. If this conversation resonates, inside the Sacred Shit Show membership, we practice sacred living in real time. With daily nervous system resets, integration prompts, honest conversations about money, relationships, capacity, and regulation. A place where expansion happens slowly and sustainably. You will find the link wherever you are listening. Tomorrow's imprint will focus on something very specific: calming financial stress responses in the body, reducing the nervous system tension that often sits underneath money conversations, and building safety with receiving and holding resources. Let the imprint play quietly throughout the week. This episode was awareness. The imprint will be integration. Let's take one final breath in and a longer breath out. Money does not need to feel like pressure. your nervous system can learn steadiness. And I'll see you inside the imprint tomorrow.